this plant keeps poking me in the arm and it's freaking me out. I'm thinking somebody's touching me. Hi guys, so today I'm going to be talking about my experiences in traveling with an ostomy and giving you the tips that I learned after going. I learned the hard way after traveling to Cape Town, South Africa. So January of 2016, I traveled there with my nursing program and our social work program. And I think some of the students were, you know, a few different other disciplines, but it was mainly nursing and social work. And basically we went to learn about the culture, volunteer a little bit in the hospitals, and kind of tour the townships. So I have a video actually already uploaded. It's a slideshow of just all the different pictures I took. Some really cool things, like I do show the township and I think there are some video clips in there, but it also shows like when we went on a little safari, so just kind of cool. But I wanted to share my experiences in packing and traveling there and being there, just to give you an idea of what to expect when you travel to a foreign country. So packing for South Africa, I can give you tips that are not necessarily related to having an ostomy, but there are some certain things you need to keep in mind. One of the things that my friend Selena, who travels a lot, she goes to Turkey a lot because she has family there. She kind of gave me all the tips. Basically said to have toiletries in your carry-on bag as well as your suitcase. So I did the little miniatures. You know that there's that 3-ounce rule. You can't bring any liquids over 3 ounces onto an airplane. I went to like the Walmart dollar section and got dollar supplies. I did some in my carry-on and I did some in my actual suitcase. So the same would go for ostomy supplies. That's what I did. I put some of my supplies into my carry-on and some on my actual suitcase. So that way I covered all of my bases. And I would say to bring double, at least double of what you think you need while you're there. You never know when a giant blizzard is going to hit back home and your flight will be delayed 3 days and you will run out of supplies. Yeah, I ran out of supplies. Go me. It wasn't a big deal. I ran out of my bags. I had like plenty of flanges, but I underestimated the amount of bags I needed because I was like actually taking them off and throwing them away and putting a brand new one on every 5 seconds because we weren't like near our homestay. So I ran out towards the end and it was like kind of gross, but I had to rinse out my bag every time I had to empty it. A lot of fun. So definitely bring more than you think you'll need. You never know when you're gonna run out of supplies. You might use more than you think you do. You know, normally at home I would just empty my pouch. I have the non-drainable, but I can empty them like through the circle. I know some people probably find that gross, but I don't want to like waste supplies. And it winds up being easier than having to throw away a whole bag, and kind of more clean because I don't have to throw it away. But I used so many more in Africa because we were out all the time and I couldn't rinse my bag out. So that's why I ran out of bags really early. It was definitely nice having stuff on my carry-on as well. So when I had to use the bathroom on the flight, I had everything there just in case my bag started to leak. It didn't leak, not that I remember, on the airplane. I think it started leaking in the airport, just because I had been sitting for a long period of time and I didn't want to get up to like empty it on the flight, so it just leaked. So once I got off the airplane, it started leaking and I was able to take care of everything in the airport without needing my suitcase. There's also a few other concerns that people have, like going through the airport, security. I was so worried about that. I didn't know what was going to happen, if I was going to be like outed with my ostomy. Not that I particularly care, like I'll say it out loud, I don't care. But I was so worried, what were they gonna say? Like, they were definitely gonna see it on the screen, and they did. When I went through, they kind of make you stand with your arms up like this and your feet slightly apart, and they scan you with their I don't know, x-ray, whatever they do. And they saw the bag. They didn't know what it was, but they said, "Ma'am, what's on your stomach?" And I said to them, "I have an ostomy." And they said, "Oh, okay." It seemed like they were pretty familiar with it. And all they had me do was take my hand, rub it on like the outside, just went like this. And then I don't know what they took, but they took like a piece of paper and rubbed it on my hand. My guess is that they were trying to see if I was like hoarding drugs or whatever in my bag. Ew. But came back negative, whatever it was. They let me get on the flight. So, and they did that both going to South Africa and coming back. So it was really easy. It took 2 seconds. They didn't make a big fuss about it. They kind of kept it quiet. Like, I guess they had seen this before. So that was kind of nice. It eased my mind about that. And then I know some people, I've seen this online, some people are afraid that flying, the pressure changes are going to affect their ostomy, and I did not notice any of that. Like, your cabin is pressurized unless somebody like knocks the door open or the window open. I think you're good. I didn't notice any difference in my stoma. The only thing I noticed was my ears popping, and it's horrible because I forget which ear it is. I feel like I need those ear tubes that little children get, because one of my ears will not pop. Well, it'll pop on the way up, but it won't repressurize or whatever it is. It won't go back to normal for about 2 to 3 days, and it's awful. I can't hear, and it winds up being pretty painful. It's so weird, but that's the only thing I noticed. Now, the trip to South Africa, at least our trip, took 19 hours on a plane. We took 2 different flights. We had a layover in Amsterdam, so I think it wound up being a 7-hour flight to Amsterdam, like US to Amsterdam. We left from Dulles airport, and then from Amsterdam to South Africa was 12 hours about. So they were long flights, and it felt like it was never going to end, and we were so worn out by the end of it, but I got through it. And obviously I didn't have a choice. Like, I had to empty my bag on the flight. Luckily it was not a concern for me. My seat wound up being fairly near to the bathrooms, and I think that there were at least 4 bathrooms within close proximity to me. The other nice thing is I didn't get a aisle seat the first, like, going to South Africa, but the girls that I sat with, because they were part of my nursing program, already knew that I had an ostomy and probably figured when I needed to go to the bathroom it was probably for that. Just because I told people, I think I showed my ostomy like the first day, because that was the first skill that we learned. But it was nice because they already knew, like, oh, she needs to like get by us to go to the bathroom. Totally fine. They didn't care. So it really wound up being no big deal on the flight. And then in the airports, I remember Amsterdam had a really gross bathroom, but it was fine. Like, I don't care. And I was able to deal with everything. Like I said, I had my carry-on if I needed supplies. Now, once we got to South Africa, we stayed in a homestay with a family. They were super nice. I can't remember whether or not I told them I had an ostomy. I don't think I did, just because it didn't really come up. It wasn't anything they needed to know about. There was no issue with the bathroom situation, and that would be the time that you would be like really afraid that there would be. You would probably much rather stay in a hotel. That was the nice thing. Our professors decided the first night when we were like worn out from this 19 hours of flying, we got a hotel the first night. It was beautiful. It was, I wish I could remember the name. It had verde in it, but it was like this hotel that recycles everything, and it was really cool. You should look it up. But we stayed there, and it was kind of nice to just relax. And I was with my friend Selena. I had requested through my professor, she knew exactly what was going on health-wise, so I had requested that Selena and I room together, just because she is completely familiar with everything going on health-wise with me, and she's very supportive. She advocates for me, so she knows when I'm not feeling well. She would like kind of cover for me, which was awesome to have during the trip. So she was like my permanent roommate. So if I did have issues in our homestay, like she would kind of vouch for me or help me out or whatever. Going into the townships and stuff, I didn't have a lot of opportunities where I found myself struggling, like needing a bathroom. There was probably 1 or 2 times. I remember we visited a after school program where children would go for free and they would get meals and stuff and food to bring home to their family. And the facilities there obviously weren't like fantastic, but they were there, and there wasn't a lot of privacy in the stalls, but it worked out fine. I just really recommend, if you use a 2-piece bag, bring extra bags and bring little trash bags. That helps so much because I could just peel it off into a trash bag and, you know, click on a new one and throw away the old bag. That's really how I survived South Africa. And I even, like, not there, I don't think I ever ran into this issue, but like when Zach and I have gone on hikes and my bag has just blown up out of nowhere, I've taken my bag off into a trash bag and put on a new one when there was no bathroom facility around. That's why I bring like either makeup or baby wipes with me at all times. I have it in my purse just so I can like clean up, hand sanitizer, all that stuff that would kind of replace everything you have in a bathroom. I just carry with me. So that was my experience going to South Africa. I wish I could go back like now. It was beautiful, and just seeing the different culture and the experiences that they go through, the different sides. It's a really interesting story if you look up the history. If you look up the history of South Africa, the division between the people. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to go, head on over there and take a nice easy 19-hour flight. But alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick little video, and I will see you later. Bye.